All right, let's get started. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Friday Eye. How are you? I'm alone again. Oh, how sad. On this Friday Eye. Rob Glenn can't be with us this morning, and I am in Cleveland, so that's probably why. Afternoon show will be at an odd time because I have to pre-tape the radio show for tomorrow because it's a travel day and it's all crazy. And then we're back to relative normal starting next week. And hi, everybody. Let me bring the chat room in. Hold on one second. There you are. And it's, hey, now it's loading. Now I can see you guys. Look at that. That's fantastic. And then I'm going to turn on the chat for myself over on another window because it's very small to read on my thing. And I'm going to say hello to you guys as we go through. And let's see if I can, hold on, why is this? Okay, I think it's okay. All right, now it should be fine. Hi, hey, what's going on? So obviously a lot of stuff to cover, not the least of which is the newly broken out battle between Trump and Vivek and Elon Musk, and that will be a joy to watch. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but man, oh Shevitz, it's and no, I haven't cut my hair. You can see it around the side. Just it's in a ponytail right now. We went to the gym this morning, which was very fun here in Cleveland, and it's a long story. Point being is it was a good workout and a good hang with family and all that stuff. And hi Ann, there you are, and hello, and morning. Miss you guys too. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas as well. Yes, the loomer thing I'm going to get to. So zombie powder, I was going to bring that up right away because that's kind of spectacular. She got bumped off of X temporarily. Hold on, let me see. There's so many updates. But yeah, so let's see. Unselling content. Okay, I'll find this fresh because her post on X got her booted temporarily, which is spectacular. And again, it's not going to get any better. These people aren't going to finally bury the hatchet. Are you kidding? It's a power struggle. This is Game of Thrones nonsense. Trump, Musk, feud. Let's just go with feud. Yeah. And largely it's this will shock you. Largely, it's over the racisms. I guess they're trying to out-racism each other because it started over this whole thing about H-1B visas. And let's see, choice. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So essentially, Trump chooses an AI advisor who is also Indian. And that in and of itself, like, again, we've seen the backlash that has come from the Nick Fuentes crowd, and that's not surprising. I mean, they're just going to generally hate this, and this is all part and parcel. This is par for the course, as it were, for these folks. But me to this, and then other members of the cabinet, there seemed to be this Indian backlash, which I don't remember there ever being. I mean, actually, if you look at Elaine Chao and how Trump was racist to her and called her Coco Chow and all kind of stuff like that, like he was always slamming the fact that she was Chinese and being really creepy about it, but it wasn't systemic throughout the circles that he was in. I think and because she was transportation secretary, they were like, who gives a shit about that anyways? It's not like they were going to pass an infrastructure bill while he was president. To try to, So with the Sriram Krishnan is the person that he nominated. Let me see if I can find up for his senior AI advisor. Let's see. Mega Harlane is okay. I want to find the primary one. Laura Loomer clashing against tech elites such as Elon Musk and David Sachs, dubbed the tech bros for Trump. And Trump himself blissfully detached from the fray, enjoying a Big Mac as the chaos ensued. According to this, she wrote, accusing Krishnan on X of being a globalist tech bro. Oh, it's so good. Throw the globalist thing in there. It's fun. Intent on displacing American workers. She even alleged that he had donated to Kamala Harris because she's part Indian and he's Indian. And so clearly there's, at some point there's going to be like, they're displacing the Chinese. Or you just watch for it. Musk, as soon as Loomer scrambled, David Sachs, a prominent Trump supporter and a moron, and Silicon Valley insider and a moron, came to Krishnan's defense. Sachs argued that Krishnan's position was focused on improving inefficiencies in the immigration system, not undermining American workers. And that's, again, inefficiencies means Elon Musk wants more H-1B visas so that he can hire outside the country. By the way, it's not that they can't find programmers of quality in the United States. It's that they're all spoken for, and nobody wants to work for him. That's what's going on. Who would you rather work for? Google or that dipshit. You know what I mean? But it isn't, I'm sure we have a volume issue, but that's largely because of the speed and growth of tech in general. It's just people don't want to work for Elon Musk because he'll steal their ideas. Don't believe me? Ask the guys who created Tesla. So this is, here's the here's the post from these big dummies right over here. This is her shitter post. By the way, hit the like, share the show, etc. I keep forgetting to do this. Oh wait, I have to put this in. I'm in preview mode. I beg your pardon. Boink. Here it is. So this is back to live mode. Thank you. Deeply disturbing to see the appointment of Sriram Krishnan as Senior Policy Advisor for AI at the Office of Science and Technology Policy. It's alarming to see the number of career leftists who are now being appointed to serve in Trump's admin while they share views. Okay, by the way, career leftists for her, I always wonder what the hell they mean by leftist half the time, and I believe there's just a giant clock. It's become, horseshoe theory has now just folded over completely, and it's just a wheel. And there's anybody close to midnight on either side is full of shit and is selling something. And most of us live during daylight hours and try to get our lives in order as far as this wheel. But deeply disturbing to see the appointment of Sriram calling him a leftist. I think largely because he's brown, or because he works in an industry that has had to be more accepting of people of color and different, even gender identities, because it's such a meritocracy on skill. They don't give a rat's ass what you call yourself the rest of the time. That's one of the biggest problems that MAGA has in the tech world right now, is that the atmosphere of things like Google and the like created an environment where people can feel safe to be themselves. They have very relaxed work conditions. People, spend a lot of time, in, mix of leisure and work so they can be creative and all this stuff. Like if you look at the Google work environment or the Apple work environment, the fact that Tim Cook is gay, the fact that there are, people of all races and genders and that kind of stuff working at tech companies because skill is what really wins out every time. It's been the hardest part and of course my mother is calling. Hold on. Because we're on vacation. Why not? Hi, I'm on the air. Can I help you? Yes, I am.
Does Camden want us to come pick him up while we go shopping?
I don't think so. So I'll be done in like 45 minutes, and we're gonna go out together. We'll probably go meet you guys wherever you're gonna shop and eat together. Okay. Love you. All right, bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Look, if your mother calls, you answer. Let's just go straight there, and I will tell her you guys said hi. So, anyways, back to the corresponding awful in Trump Town. So, here's the thing. This was his thing. Anything to remove country caps for green cards, unlock skilled immigration would be huge. And then Elon Musk has all actions of the Department of Government Efficiency will be posted online for maximum transparency. Also, there will be no actions. It's a lobbying group. There are no actions. There aren't. I mean, he's going to post what they're doing, but it's mainly, this is a PR scheme. Posting it online for maximum transparency, that's because it's all about bragging and bullshit. Okay. Then anything the public thinks we are cutting, anytime the public thinks we're cutting something important or not cutting something wasteful, just let us know. Asshole, that's what we have representatives in government for. We'll let our congressperson know. You're not elected to anything, stupid, and you don't have a department. So, okay. Anyways, he puts that up, and Sriram puts that thing about removing the caps on unlocking skilled immigration. Which again, turned loose this huge cascade on truth sinkhole, where everybody was going, "How about no immigration? How about none?" Right? That was the response wasn't, "Well, yes, that's what we want. We want the best and the brightest." They're like, "No, you can't tell maggots that they are the best and the brightest just because of birthright, and then expect them to accept people coming into the country from other places because you need more good people." You know what I mean? Like good workers or good thinkers or good or inventive people. It doesn't work that way. You can't bullshit these people into thinking the sun shines out of their ass and say pass the sunscreen. It's weird. So and then here's the other follow. Okay, so Sriran writes is Trump names him Sriran Krishnan will serve as senior policy advisor for artificial intelligence at the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, working closely with David Sachs, and will focus on ensuring continued American leadership in AI and help shape and coordinate, I don't know, it's a cutoff on the side, AI policy across government, including working with the President's Council Advisors on Science and Technology. Sriram started his career at Microsoft as a founding member of the Windows Azure. Congratulations to all. Like, I love how he puts a little thing from his LinkedIn bio at the tail end of it to pretend that he becomes very highly recommended. He's very well respected. So if I have to fire him, it's not my fault. Blame Microsoft. Okay, so this top part, I'm honored to be here to serve to be able to serve our country and ensure continued American leadership in AI, working closely with David Sachs. Thank you, real Donald Trump, for this opportunity. Okay, and then David Sachs says, point of clarification. And this is them. Listen to this cleanup. Sriram didn't say he wants to remove all caps on green cards. He said he wants to remove country caps on green cards. Right now, every country in the world gets allocated the same number of green cards. So no matter how qualified the applicant is, it's so blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then they cut off this. And again, of course that's what you want. We don't want equally qualified brown people. We want, or specifically black people is the problem. We want Indians and Europeans. Remove the caps on those countries and make them, and we can pick and choose which ones we'd rather have people from, because I guarantee there's going to be a bunch of Swedes and Russians running into this country if the caps get lifted, but to get these kind of jobs, especially in like robotics and engineering, and all the Russian escapees are going to want to come over here and get a job. So it's just so dickish. I don't know what this. Sorry, this has moved over. There you go. So hopefully you can see it a little better. Elon Musk joined in with a simple "makes sense." His endorsement set off another wave of memes and backlash from the America First crowd. Loomer then popped in. She got let's see. She played her favorite card, victimhood. She accused Musk of throttling her account and removing her blue check mark on X, declaring free speech for all or free speech for nobody. Which again, oh, it's good. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that makes sense, dummy. That's great. Yeah. Either I get it, we all get it, or nobody gets it. I don't know what this half measures. Why wouldn't you just say free speech for all and leave it at that? What's with the weird, if I can't have you, no one will, Glenn Close in like in the kitchen with a boiling rabbit attitude? Okay. Ironically, she continued to use X to voice her grievances. And again, if you search for their stuff, if they do throttle you, you can, it's like this whole idea, like, people saying if you haven't been kicked off, he could still throttle you, but you could still search it out. The whole idea of that is that people have to search for you. So, whatever. Anyways, promise, she said, she wanted her followers to migrate to Truth Social. Hey, if they don't follow you, do you have followers? Okay. Unfiltered. Few took her up on the offer. Not surprising. If any. By the way, I don't know that they have any proof that anybody jumped over, like that her numbers actually went up on Truth Sinkhole and went down on X. We just want Trump's agenda to be fulfilled. That's what we want, okay? Why can't we appreciate you buying X and also express our concerns? We're very reasonable people, Elon Musk. Free speech for all or free speech for nobody. Yeah, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? It certainly is totally reasonable. If I can't say what I want, no one can say what I want. They want what I want. I don't know what I want. All I want is what I want. All right. Elon Musk, I am constantly insulted on this platform. Responding to Cernovich? What was that? I'm not going to click on X because I have no interest in going to the site. So, good? I don't know. Asshole, it's your site. I guess Grok sucks. Nick Fuentes and his far-right groypers capitalize on the chaos, flooding X with memes and incendiary rhetoric. For them, Krishnan embodied everything they despise: globalism, diversity, and Silicon Valley's growing influence over MAGA. They painted Musk as a tech oligarch and Krishnan as a symbol of global elites. You just hate to see it, don't you? It's so sad. Why can't we all just get along, little doggy? Why can't we? Oh, and by the way, I'm sure this is all going to get way better. They're going to work it out before inauguration, and then after that, it'll be smooth sailing. Yeah, everybody will be they've got everybody each other's backs. Nobody's going to be jockeying for position out of ego. You know what I mean? They're all going to be like pulling together. I really believe that. Okay, MAGA's identity crisis. The Musk-Loomer conflict underscores a deeper identity crisis within MAGA. Okay. And again, I don't really care about these assholes fighting amongst each other. It's just fun to watch. Okay, also on another thing, let's see here. Yeah, apparently Trump posted a DM on Truth Sinkhole to somebody, probably Musk. Where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe, Mar-a-Lago? Bill Gates asked to come tonight. We miss you and X. New Year's Eve is going to be amazing. DJT. We miss you and X? The site or your ex or does someone he know have like an unspoken mate? We shall not say her name. We shall not print it. Obviously, if you rearrange the letters to this, it's a recipe for baby dip from Spirit Cooking. This is the real Pizzagate, and I insist. Damn. Okay, so let me go back to the chat room because I adore you guys. Hold on one second. There we go. This is, and here we go, and I'll pop it up here so I can see you guys as well. By the way, share the show, hit the like, etc. All the stuff I don't say, whatever, when I'm doing these kind of like hang around shows. I feel like this should be an Ask Me Anything whenever I'm doing a show. Isn't one of his sons X? It's not Grimes, aka Elon's X. Yeah, I don't think so. The kid is X. Elon is on the couch with a bucket. Oh, because Elon's kid. Does he have a kid named X? Which would, oh, that's right. X, what a dick. What kind of Kanye horseshit is that? Right? What are you doing? Like, the idea that Musk names everything, all of his businesses X, and one of his kids X. Are you just trying to tell all the rest of them you don't give a shit if they live or die? Is that the idea? X is the new Q? I think so. I'm not on a couch in a garage. I'm sitting down on the floor in front of a couch in a basement. No Grimes kid is named the symbol. I see. Yeah. Gen X. Right. Welcome to Mar-a-Lago, $1 million cash door fee. Yeah. Yes, you hear a dog. There are 3 dogs upstairs. There's Moose, and I'll post pictures of them later in video. Moose and Berkeley and Honey. And Honey is Berkeley's mom. Yep. Yes, and I am Hal Sparks, saying all day long I am Hal Sparks, and I will continue to Hal Sparks as long as anyone needs me to Hal Sparks, which will be for the foreseeable future, apparently. And there's a bokeh happening right there in the middle of my palm. I can see it, and I think it's, it's that light right there. It's creating a bokeh. All right, sorry about that. Maybe if I rotate, no, it's just going to move. Oh, that's a little better. I just have to stay in the light. Come into the light, my children. Yeah, I saw that. Marianne running for head of the DNC. No, it's not going to happen. It's just ridiculous. What a ridiculous person. I guess it's not surprising. I feel like I should announce my presidency officially just to eat wind from that whole announcement. Yep, Marianne's going to run for head of the DNC, so I'm going to run for president. Yeah. Yeah, so great news. Oh, and Ainsley Earhart and Sean Hannity are engaged, and their relationship is formed with because of their shared love for Jesus, and not at all because they had a HR violation relationship at work. And yeah, it is my fault that Marianne's running. I apologize. Putin says he's ready for potential talks with Trump during year-end news conference. Whatever. Of course, he's... and... Okay, and then this is... the other thing I want to show you guys is that... And let me see if I can do it on Blue Sky. Blue Sky now has... Remember how we used to do trends, which I loved doing... No, I don't want bluesky.com. You got to have Blue Sky app. I got to say, congratulations to this little flower company that gets all this attention because you sign in. There you go. We go to here. Yes, there we go. Ta-da. That they now have, I think it's in the regular pages, like a trend block, like a beta trends block that was showing up in a couple of, there it is. Look at this. Now, this may be trending around what I like, which will throw a monkey wrench into how a lot of this stuff works. But this is what's trending in mine. Very Korean leaning, apparently. South Korea, Han Duck-soo's impeachment, and Squid Game all in one thing. Glaber Torres, Vivek, and NASA. And the reason Vivek is trending is because of, I think, what's happening with them, punching at each other. So this is America First means America's in first place, loving the opening debate, blah, blah, blah. There's Nick Fuentes. No, America First means America and the Americans are the first priority of the American government, not that the American government will sacrifice the well-being of its own people so that the economic output within America's borders is the biggest. Whatever. Dude lives in Berwyn. I don't know what to tell you. The reminder that Vivek Ramaswamy is fundamentally cringe. Ramaswamy's rapper alter ego, though Vivek raps libertarian prose with the utmost of ease, don't expect to see him in section. The rapper who fearlessly showed off his skills at the Busta Rhymes concert in spring 2004 only emerges when Ramaswamy is outfitted entirely in black, completely with a black Kangol hat. They're two completely different people, says Chow. Ugh, God. Elon and Vivek's missionary trip to Macedonia is off to a great start. Yeah, this is going to be so fun to watch. I don't know why NASA's trending. We'll see this. NASA reported the Parker Solar Probe successfully completed its closest flyby of the sun on December 26th. The team received a signal from the probe indicating it's in good health and operating normally. It also is lonely and wants someone to send crackers because it's a bit peckish. That is an artist rendering of the Parker probe passing that, which is great. I think one of the upsides of this Elon Musk tomfoolery is that at least we have Republicans not trying to shut down NASA at every turn because they have to suck up to Elon Musk, and so they don't dare, which is fantastic. We do have some super chats in here, kind of like, who saw this coming? MAGA didn't. Absolutely. Loretta. Oh, and Sean Hannity and yeah, you were saying that Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt are the Joe and Mika of Fox News. I thought Joe and Mika were the Fox News couple of MSNBC, effectively. So, yeah. Let's just open up a little. There we go. That's a little better. It's a little small when it does that. Oh, and it should be behind. There we go. And we'll put it down here. Whoops. Down here, down this like this, yeah, that'll work. And thank you, Anna Campbell, as well. Appreciate it. I mean, maybe I just gotta move this thing to the top of the thing. There you go, that'll work. And insofar, shall we check the other trends? So why not? Gleyber Torres, I'm not sure what this is pertaining, and it's taking, okay, it's, yeah, sports, that's what I thought. And then South Korea, so if you don't know, Han Duck-soo tried to, like, take over the country using martial law and whatever. After he'd won his election, he was trying to impose martial law and everything. It was just nuts. And he got impeached almost immediately, and the military stopped him from doing it. It was actually kind of interesting to see how quickly it righted itself. It was very inspiring, actually, now that you think of it. That said, oh wait, and I can also, if I want, I can open up the chat on here, and it's much bigger. Yes, this is live. I am live. How many handies were given out at Fox? How'd you get what big thing did you get for Christmas? Santa brought me a heated back massager. Works great. I got my dad got me another Raspberry Pi computer, and Ethan got me an Arduino starter kit for robot making. Yeah, it was a very nerdy Christmas. I was very excited about that. And yeah, what else were the big things? My kid got he's been playing a lot of VR lately, so he got a haptic belt, which you wear around your chest, and while you're playing VR, if you get shot or punched in the game or whatever, you feel an impact while you're doing it. It's fascinating. I can see the the way this is trending. There are whole vests that you can get, and like gloves and other stuff, but they're too big for him because he's a kid. So the belt will have to do, and he wears it like Chewbacca's ammo belt. Yeah, very Ready Player One. Yes, I think he's upstairs explaining it to my cousin, explaining the VR controller. And I have to say, like, as gaming goes, VR for me and for the fam is the way to go, just because we have like just the physical aspect of doing it instead of sitting and playing a game or hunching over like this, which kids tend to do, and they get like that like curved back. Like, he's standing up straight and he's moving around, and they're very active. So that, I feel like if you're gonna game, that's a good way to go, right? Because we grew up, a lot of us, I think, as as Gen Xers especially, at upright arcades, and we all saw the trend where you used to go to the arcade and stand up, and you'd be playing, and you'd even be like sweaty and slamming the buttons and the joystick, or there was some physical activity to it, even if it was just the fact that you were standing the whole time. And then stuff came home, and everybody just like started to melt. And yeah, Dig Dug kicks it. Dig Dug's intense. Again, any game, it's not about the graphics, it's about how committed you are to winning. Right. So waiting for the underwear to come out. Yeah, believe me, that's something along those lines. Pong, yeah, I mean, even Pong itself, like, that didn't last very long before it was the arcade games you really wanted to play. But you used to stand up, right? Yeah, we stood for hours, and that's not a bad thing compared to like sitting on your couch or slumped over or whatever. And so the same thing is, when you're playing VR, it's even more active than that, because we just would stand still with the joystick and the buttons. But this, you're like punching and moving around and dodging, and it's 360 degrees. So there's something to that. A Raspberry Pi is a little computer that you can make stuff out of. since it's Friday Eye, can I show you guys a little bit? Can I nerd out a little bit for you? Would that be all right? In this thing. So let me switch back over to this for a second. And then I'll show you the, because my cousin is a U.S. Marshal. And we have been, a lot of times we get up in conversations about the bad guys he's still looking for, who are pretty terrible. God bless him, and the hard work that he does, because damn, there's some monsters out there. And it's his job with the guys that he works with to find those. We're not talking about traffic cop situations. They know very well. Most of them are fugitives that have already been arrested and convicted multiple times. So anyways, we talk a lot about like how, justifiable force and all those kind of things, like what they deal with, right? And I've just been I just watched that Unabomber special that was just on, it's like a 4-part series on Netflix, I think. And after watching it, I came to the conclusion that he's a narcissistic jackass, and that anybody who reads his shit and goes, "There's something to this," is just trying to be edgy and a dickhead. It's so stupid. It's like, life was so much better when somebody would just get lung cancer and not know what it was and just die of consumption before we had radiology departments and all that stuff. Technology is destroying us. Like, shut the fuck up. Anyways, point being is that we do talk about how like accessible technology, when it's democratized and everybody can get access to it, that the dangerous people can do it too. And what they're capable of doing is nervy, But I also had a conversation with my son yesterday about barbed wire, where he was saying, I bet I could get over a barbed wire fence really fast, because of what I'm doing. I'm like, well, first of all, barbed wire fence isn't for people that can figure out how to get over a barbed wire fence. Because if you can figure out how to get over barbed wire fence in to get whatever you're trying to get or do what you're trying to do, you probably have other skills that can get you into the place easier than just hopping the fence. And it's usually to slow people down when they're trying to escape or get into some place too fast and overwhelm you, probably in large groups. The other thing too is that this is, again, it's a subcategory of a subcategory that it's for when you put it on something. So I'm like, yes, you're very smart, and yes, you can figure it out. So they have bigger fish to fry with someone like you trying to get into a building or something like that, and it won't be you climbing over a fence. So it was a good conversation. But the people who can figure stuff out a lot of times would rather make themselves useful. It's why I'm never afraid of a person with a lot of tattoos blowing themselves up on an airplane. I don't think people with a lot of tattoos should even have to walk through the magnetometers, because people with a lot of tattoos don't want to die in a plane crash. They spent too much time doodling on their body, and why let it go to waste? I'm being facetious, but you get what I'm saying. If you're that invested in your physical appearance, you know what I mean? Then I doubt you're just going to throw it all out the window. Almost literally, like all this work, like no way. They're never going to, they might shoot somebody, they might stab somebody, but they're never going to blow themselves up. And so, okay. So that said, we're looking at the kind of technology that's available now and on the cheap. So as a former fellow traveler of people who went to Radio Shack on the regular and made little circuit boards, the fact that you can get, this is a Raspberry Pi, just so you know. And so Rob Glenn and I talk about these things all the time, and Rob uses these things a lot too. And this is a single, like an SCB, a single computer board or a small computer board. So there's a Raspberry Pi computer module number 5. Okay. And in this thing, there's a main chip, a graphics chip, memory, and then little connecting parts of it, right? And this is just the compute module, and then there's bigger ones that have ports built into them, these kind of things. It's kind of like what you would find if you opened up a rudimentary piece of, like a computer or electronics from a long time ago. It's just the board itself. And it's already wired to do certain things. And then within that, within the programming language, you can add peripherals to it and build stuff on top of it. So the development kit kit like that has all these things: a box it can go in, the generalized shape, a couple of other modules you can stack on top of it that give it other stuff, a power source, and then a computer source. And then you can hook it up to a monitor, and then you can build like just incredible stuff just from scratch. So let me show you. Whoops, let me back up. So you take like this is a Raspberry Pi. It's got a few USB things on it. A monitor, that's a monitor out in power right there. That's a USB. And then there's Ethernet, and you can do power over Ethernet, which means you don't even need to plug this into a power source. If you have it hooked up to an Ethernet system that does power over Ethernet, it'll pump it right in there and power the whole thing because it's so low. The power demand is so low. And then see these prongs right here across the top? Yeah, that's where you can plug in another module on top of it, or different things that have pins on them to make things move or pick up information from sensors and all that other stuff. So that's it right there. This right here is the Raspberry Pi 500. It's just literally built into a keyboard, and you can get a little monitor for it. It's like a good starter play kit for kids who want to program a Pi without just having it exposed to the elements. And it comes with a keyboard. So it's a good like starter programmer kid keyboard to do projects with, but it does a ton of stuff. So it's, a single board computer, an SBC. And did I say SCB earlier? Is that why I got screwed up? Yeah, anyways. So you can pop this open and put stuff in it, but the ports that are exposed on this thing are exposed on the back of this, so you can kind of do all those things, all right? So if a kid wants to play around with robotics or engineering or programming, this is where you get started, okay? It used to be that these things were so rudimentary that, I mean, they were, it was like how we would feel about a 14.4 modem now. Right? Just like grudgingly slow. But you could do little things, okay? So, but now, because the chips that are on these things are as good as any laptop from, say, even 5 years ago, maybe less. They're getting better all the time. Think about how powerful a laptop you had 5 years ago. Yes, a child could use these very easily. That you could get one of these and build a computer that's as fast as anything you ever had 5 years ago, and just build on it yourself and turning it into a single-use computer. Okay, and I'll show you why that matters. So there are also smaller ones. Here's the Module 5. This is the big one. That's what we were seeing in that other development kit, which means it has everything that the Pi can currently do on one board. So it's a little bit bigger instead of the pared down version that's all crammed on this thing. So you can expand on it and experiment. It's got more ports and that kind of thing. Then there's the Pico, which is the little like toy-sized one that you can put inside toys and program, okay? Or build a Wi-Fi spoofer and steal everyone's login information. I'm not kidding. Okay, so this is the microcontroller that you can attach to it. This is the Pi desktop kit has like just a box around it and stuff, so it just doesn't get all dusty while you're working on it, or you don't spill Cheetos on it. The Pi Zero is like the Pico, only it's slightly bigger and has a couple more ports, and it has a port for a visual camera, so you can put a AI ribboned camera into it, and it will track faces and stuff like this. This is. I feel like people need to know how easy and accessible this stuff is. It's like Radio Shack on the web, and you can download all these things. All of these things are like on Amazon too. You could look them up on there, and you can just pull whatever. You use ESP32s. They have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Yeah, those things are amazing. There's a couple of other. These aren't the only ones. And that's a good point to bring up, Chris B. Is that these are not the only like small computer devices like this that you can get. There's 4 or 5 different companies that make them. Raspberry Pi is the most basic, and then there's some that are just faster, including the NVIDIA one, which is where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to show you in a second. But with this, you can get like different kits. There's the Pi 400, which is a Raspberry Pi 4 inside a board like that, and it's basically a whole computer that you can it has its own operating system, but you can also load equivalent programs or sideboard them onto it. And then these are all the 4, the 3, the B1, all these boards. And you just buy these and you can basically program them to do a specific task or a series of specific tasks. The best known one I think right now is that you can take, it's pretty common to use a Raspberry Pi 4, which is this guy right here. Let's see if I can, why is that not, this guy right here. That thing right there. And on that you can, like a lot of people make home automation systems using Home Assistant, which is kind of a generic, not Alexa, not Siri system that can run an entire house. I've started building one of my own from that using a Raspberry Pi to automate my house. And I stopped doing, I started working on it a long time ago and then stopped because of coding and stuff. But now ChatGPT makes coding so easily, I was able to start from scratch and build this. So I'm building basically Eddie from Lab Rats. My goal is to put it in a screen with an animated face, and it has the original animations and a voice as close to, or if I can get Will to come and do the voice, that would be awesome. But create an 11 Labs version of that, and I can talk to Eddie on my wall, and hopefully that'll be done by the spring. That's my goal. That's what I've been working towards. Just so you know, it's a little side project of mine to see if I can pull it off. And then there's a Raspberry Pi debugging probe to like check connections and stuff and check routings and all kinds of stuff to see if everything's going the way it's supposed to. And from that, you can build all kinds of stuff to route stuff. There's an antenna kit. There's an AI hat, which is the thing I got. The compute modules, these are the development kits. These are the big ones. These are like a board you'd almost see in a regular computer. But these things, you can make toys out of them. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. It's really amazing. But imagine what someone who doesn't mean well, who can do this. And these are $50. This guy right here, that's $50. And it's got basically the power of a computer from 5 years ago. Any laptop, you would just buy like a Lenovo or something like that. You can do pretty much everything that way, and you can expand on it. Hi, Andrea. Then this is the M2 hat, which like allows you to put an SD drive on it, so that, because right now these things just use SD cards, so this can use a SSD as opposed to an SD card, solid state drive. And there's a long form one and a short form one, and they're the little thumb size SSDs that are like a terabyte, and you can have that on there, and that's the memory for it instead of a 256 gig SSD. So all these, yeah, and then they have like a PCI jumper on there, so you can have PCI cards attached to it. It has little kits that you can make stuff out of, and little like there's a little case for it, and then there's the active cooler, so in case you're doing stuff that makes it hot, as you do. So there's always to like trick these out like toys, but ultimately it's amazing what they can accomplish. Okay, so this is pretty impressive. It's and you can, I got one of these and I put an AI hat on it, which it stacks on these pins right here, and in doing that, I was able to download using Olama and then another GitHub site 3 LLMs. I did 2 on the Olama and then one by itself. That's kind of like a self-housed AI. And it's completely off the internet. It just responds. You talk to it through a terminal, so it's not as sexy as doing it through a browser, but I'm adding a browser thing to it when I get home as part of the project. And so I don't know how long it'll be before I'm able to just talk to it like ChatGPT, where it'll convert text to voice and voice to text. But it won't be long, and it's not that difficult. So think about what's possible, right? Thanks, Olama. That's right, Moody Girl. So here's the other thing I wanted to show you. So, okay, that's incredible, right? I think we can all agree that's impressive, right? That's a neato, gang. Okay, so NVIDIA, who's making all the AI chips that everybody knows about, makes all the gamer cards and all that kind of stuff, has their own system like that, which is called the Orin Nano, which is, nano being the smallest of small things or whatever. And edge computing, by the way, is kind of like taking stuff out of the being borderline connected to the internet, but also small stack. I mean, everybody misuses it or uses it in multiple ways. But the important thing is that, let me show you this guy. So this, get out of here. I don't want to see this. I just want to see the jets. Click on this. Go, you stupid. I don't want to buy it. I want to show it. Robotics Edge, Enterprise, Marketplace. There you go. I'll just do the Jetson Nano Edge. I just want to find a bigger picture of it. Yeah. So I probably the AI that I built probably cost, I don't know, $250 all in to get it kind of up and running. And let's see. You get data sheet and specifications. Yeah, there's pictures in here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this'll have to do, I guess. They built one. NVIDIA built one about this big. Okay, and the Raspberry Pi is about that big. So this is about this big. Not much bigger at all. But it's got one of their AI chips on it, and that's it right there. The Jetson Orin Nano, this little guy right here. And they expect people will use it largely for robotics, to like build it inside this would be the heart of a robot. You just put this in its chest or in its head, wherever your major cavity is, and this is where it will fit, and everything kind of breaks off of that. But it has a built-in AI chip with like 9 trillion process. Hold on, they actually have the number in here. 1.7x over its predecessor. $249, so it was like $40 more than what I paid for what I was doing. Provides developers, students, and makers with the most affordable, accessible platform with the support of NVIDIA AI software and a broad AI software ecosystem. Existing Jetson or Nano developer kit users can experience this and blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Yeah, so here's I think this is him introducing it in his kitchen.
Hi, welcome to my house. I'm living in a different house now. We're fixing the house that you guys saw the last time you were in my kitchen. And let's see, what were we doing? My hair was a lot longer, and I lifted a brand new HGX out of my oven while I'm cooking something up for you again today.
Yeah, so they did a demo of the giant processor that they're selling to the big companies.
Show it to you.
This is Jensen Huang from NVIDIA.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our brand new AI computer. Look at this. I think I might have cooked it a little bit too long. It shrunk. The little tiny Jetson Nano. Little Orin computer. This thing that's really amazing is that a long time ago, starting with Xavier, you guys might have known, that we created a brand new type of processor. It was a robotics processor. Nobody understood what we were building at the time. And we imagined that someday these deep learning models would evolve and we would have robots of all kinds. Everything that moves would be robotic. And now here we are. We're seeing all kinds of amazing robots. Robots on wheels, robots on legs, 2 legs, 3 legs. And of course, general humanoid robotics are nearly upon us. This is a brand new Jetson Nano Super. Almost 70 trillion operations per second.
That's what it was. 70 trillion operations per second.
25 watts. And $249. It runs everything that the...
Now, remember when I was telling you guys how all technology is deflationary? All it does is get faster, cheaper, and smaller. That's what it does. That's all it ever will do. Hold on one second. Apparently, I want to thank Car Care for coming in here and saying American are... You want to pluralize Americans, I think, if you're going to say low-life degenerates. And I appreciate your eyeballs, and thanks for lifting me up in the algorithm. I appreciate it. I think it's probably the American flag that's freaking out, and I'm glad. Eat shit. But thanks for being here and helping, boost me in the algorithm. I haven't thanked the trolls in a long time. But yeah, China is grinding its teeth about this. You're absolutely right. But the element of this thing is that this is effectively the heart and soul of an autonomous AI you could build. And that is now something that is within the reach of any kind of would-be designer. If you wanted access to a computer like that gave you those possibilities for designing a robot or designing some sort of medical device or any of that kind of stuff, you would take it would take you hundreds of millions of dollars over time to do that. And now you can buy one of those on Amazon and start working. Nothing's stopping you. And again, I say this about all this technology. Good people need to start using it before the bad people do and get good at it. Always. Because it's not going to stop. It's not going to go away. This is a natural part of who we are as humans. We use tools, and our tools just get fancier over time, but it's basically the same thing. We have found ways to augment ourselves, and it's a good thing. So even if it's just, finding how AI can function for you or whatever, just don't be afraid to play with it because you think it's going to turn into Skynet. Now, let me show you real quick. Whoops, sorry. I was going to open up ChatGPT, and I opened up the chat of my own thing again. So real quick. Okay. Let me log into my thing. And I want to show you one of the things that I built with ChatGPT. Let me go into Explore GPTs. Okay. So I'm in ChatGPT. Maybe I start here. I'll just start on a baseline one and go Explore GPTs. All right. In this thing where you can make your own GPTs, like I have a bunch over here, right, that I use or I mess with. But let's just forget about those for 1 second and just let's focus on, can I show you this? Yeah, okay. These are custom GPTs. This is where somebody took ChatGPT and then they aimed it towards a particular topic. Okay. So, AI PDF drive, chat, create, and organize. So this one you would load in your ChatGPT website and you would upload a PDF and then you could have a conversation with it like it's a person. And so you can ask questions of something, an enormous thing of information. You could go, on page 17, what's the whole chapter about this? Or what's the whole paragraph about this? Or what do you, just explain to me chapter 5 of this or whatever. Okay. Or give me a generalized summary, and then I'm looking for one topic in this PDF that deals with this, and it will talk to you like a person that's only background in its head is that PDF. Okay. Scholar GPT is for researching. It's got over 200 plus million resources and built-in critical reading skills. It accesses Google Scholar, PubMed, JSTOR. Sorry, there's a shining light on the archive and more effortlessly. So it goes to all the published like medical journals and science journals, and you could reference all those things. Think about this for a second. What was the point of going to Harvard or Yale at one point? Access to teachers, maybe the relationships you build, and access to effectively their library, or being up close to the studies that they are doing, right? Being able to go there. That's it. There it is. That's available right there. Like stuff that was never available to the average person, much less somebody who was poor. And that's free. That's not even the paid version of ChatGPT. That's just the free version. Okay? Prestige might be a thing too, Paul. I completely agree, but that would also be based on the network of people that came from there and how people respect the learning from there. Totally true. But insofar as the learning aspect of it, what you could gain when everything wasn't available largely on the internet, even to Google, or was or you had to sign up. If you're a student at Harvard, you could go and look at some of their papers that they had in files and read stuff in the library there, but it wouldn't be online, and it still isn't. But this has been, this is the educational value of this is incredible. Tutor Me is right in here. This is another thing. This one I have an early version of this. And then Grimoire is a code thing if you need to write code. But there's an image generator. It's based on this. That people train the image generators to be a little better at words and things like that. Write for Me, which I don't believe in using because I'm creative enough. Canva has its own built-in AI stuff, which is very useful. Logo Creator, it works great for creating one, but recreating one is annoying, so I don't use those. But let's say there are all these in here. You can modify an image, you can change the background, you can change the character in them, all that kind of stuff. But to me, the most important part is this button right up here. See the plus create button up here? And the thing that says My GPTs right next to it? Okay, that's where you can train your own GPTs. And so I just want to give you an example of this. This is Scene Partner Pro. I made this. And it took a couple of iterations, and then I released it to the public. Scene Partner Pro was initially just for actors who need to tape an audition. So I've been on the road a bunch of times. I've been on, doing stand-up, and I'm basically by myself, or maybe I've got my opening act with me or whatever, or I'm at my mom's visiting or something, and I need to put something on tape for an audition. But having somebody that can read the other copy with me and knows what it means and can do it well and not have it be odd is sometimes difficult. It really is, right? And if you want to send in an audition, finding somebody to co-read with you until you get it right is a big, it's a tooth pull. It's a pain in the ass. So because ChatGPT can talk like a person, you can upload your script. You can tell it, I'm John in this and you're Mary and all the other characters. And I need you to read those characters as the voice of, you're an old woman, Mary's an old woman, and James is a 25-year-old guy. And you read those parts, and I'll read my part, and you just listen for when I'm done talking. When I finish the line, you say the next line, right? And if I make a mistake, tell me at the end that I missed a line or missed a word or whatever, but let's keep it moving and fluid and that kind of stuff. And it will do it. And so I also made a version of it, which you can see with the little button over here. Can I upload a script to rehearse? Yes. So I made two modes for this. I made an audition mode where you say action and it rolls on it, and then you do the thing, and then you say, cut or scene, and it will stop. And then you can stop your tape and send it on, that kind of thing. Or you can do rehearsal mode where you can just run it multiple times. So you can practice. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that this has been something that my whole life has dogged me as a problem when I'm out on the road or I'm by myself or I'm doing something and I need to tape an audition, and I missed tons of auditions over the years because I couldn't find somebody to read with me, or I couldn't just record something and read it back, or it was just a pain in the ass. So I just made this for myself, and then I released it so that other actors who might find themselves in this situation can use it for free. That is an app. You could probably have made a bunch of you probably could have made this an app and sold it at some point to a very narrow audience, but I just decided to give it away for free. Can you ask it if a joke is funny? No, Howie, I don't trust it to have a sense of humor. It's a good point, though. Somebody else was saying, well, it could critique your performance. No, I don't. That's not what it's for. I don't want it to. I could make it probably. I could probably say, hey, you're a director and your major concern is pacing and tightness, and your concern is that my read is too monotone or something. So please help me find ways of varying my performance, and it'll listen to your voice and reflect that. It probably could. I have no interest in that creatively. I just need to be able to do the thing, right? Yes, it'll read the other parts for me, and it will respond when I'm done talking. It will follow, back and forth. So I built this in ChatGPT for something I needed, and like I said, just to give it to actors that need it. So I released it a little while ago, and let's see. I've been planning on using my bot to follow a script too. Yeah, well, this is pretty this is just a rudimentary version of that because I don't need it to have proprietary information. You load up the script in PDF form or in text. You can cut it and paste it or whatever. You put your scene in and then you run it that way. But my point is that if I wanted to do something like this as an up-and-coming actor in the 90s or something, like, think about the money in programming that I would have to spend. How would I even get it out to people? How would they download it? Would it work on their different platforms? Right? But I was just able to crank this out. Took a couple of iterations. I had to work through it a few times. I've been tweaking it a little bit, and I can behind the scenes. I can make updates to it to make it better, right? But it is pretty easy, Robbie. It was pretty easy to do. It just took, I just had to come up with something that I needed done. And I was like, this is something that's always bugged me. Let me see if I can find a way to solve it with this. Yes, it's like rehearsal on demand. Exactly. I always wanted an app for grocery stores to find things easily. I guess they have those. Yes, they do. I mean, a lot of things, like if you look at most websites now, they have an AI that will tell you what aisle and what shelf stuff is on. But again, that's the point I'm trying to make, and I'm going to go now because I got to go hang out with the family. We're going to go. We're actually going to go have lunch, and then we're going to play VR at a place here in town. But the crucial part is that in this, this was a real Shazam moment for me, where I was like, I can finally fix this one thing that bugs me. This is just, I made this with probably 3, and like, this is where I can edit it or whatever, but it can use whatever your most up-to-date version of ChatGPT is. My mom is waiting patiently. No, she's at the other house. They're gonna meet us later. But I just wanted, as part of Friday AI and the like, to just let you guys know that maybe there's something that you've been trying to get done over time that requires, a human interaction that you'd rather not bother another person with, right? Right away, whatever that is. I mean, you can even start with like developing a thing where you're like, my family's really into these things. What can you suggest some party stuff that would make like a way to design a cake in the room or whatever, or a mystery story, even beyond this, not just descriptions, but like, is there can we print out cards that would do a murder mystery style thing around this theme for this person's birthday that involves these names? Right? So here's me, my cousin, my sister, my friend is going to be there, like whoever's going to be at the party. And you put them into the AI and you go, hey, let's make a whodunit out of everyone that's actually there. And print them out. I want to be able to like make a little cards that we print out. And I don't want to go to the computer to play this game. I want it to be a card game, but I want them to print out and look really nice on these cards or whatever. So we'll make the game or whatever, and then I'll take the text that you have and we'll make visually pleasing 3x5 images, and we'll pass those out, and people will get them in an envelope, and we'll pass them out at the beginning of the party. And they, card 1 or tells you one clue, card 2 tells you the next one, and then there's some that I hide throughout the house, and I've got a someplace in the kitchen, someplace in the living room, and you hide these different things throughout the house, and it will plan it out for you, right? Yeah, well, Priest GPT, you're not far off there, the whole idea, because let me show you the other thing that came up. This is new, and then I'm totally going to go. Go back to regular ChatGPT. And if you go down here, you can, you'll see, message ChatGPT. This is search the web, which is new. View tools, add attach files, images, PDFs, whatever stuff. Oh, sorry, you can't see that on there. So these guys right here. search the web, view tools, and then attach files. And the view tools thing is make a picture, search what kind of reasoning it will use, because O1 has really good reasoning capabilities, and then Canvas, which is when you're writing code and it creates like a workspace. But most of the time you're just using it straight from here. But here's the thing up here. This is the thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to go. Really, I am. ChatGPT 4.0, see this up here? Okay, click on that. It tells you which version you can use. And there's several other models, and you can use older ones, but 4.0 is the main one. And then Mini is very fast and smart. But for like reasoning and logic. See this thing right here? See what that says? Temporary chat. If you flick that switch, it won't remember what you talked about. So let's say Disciple, if Disciple wants to do a priest GPT, it would be designed to always have temporary chat turned on. It would have no memory of your sins. And then after you're done, it would give you, I don't know, 10 Hail Marys and whatever. So I like that in and of itself is a huge leap forward, I personally think. Since Rob Glenn couldn't be here today, I figured I owed you at least some AI stuff in that regard. I have posted the link to the Scene Partner Pro on my Blue Sky, and I will do it again. I'm also revamping my website for the new year for alsparks.com. And so it's going to include, along with it, downloadable GPTs that people can use, or different ones. I'm going to build one in Gemini as well, in case that's the one you use. So anyways, love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you later. Tonight's show will be late and short, and I'm going to have to pre-tape radio tomorrow, so you guys will probably participate with me as I do it. Basically, recording radio as if, and then they'll be able to post it fresh tomorrow on the radio. So there you go. Oh, and one other thing.